Hello everyone, welcome to episode 2 of Think and Thrive. My name is Yajush from Year 10 and today I will be hosting. Our guest for today is Mr. John Lacey, MENA head of Tencent. Thank you for being here with us today.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Shall we begin, sir?
Yeah, go for it.
So sir, I have seen that you have taken politics and economics as your courses in university and you have majored in philosophy. How has that had an impact on your line of work?
I suppose I should be very diplomatic in the way I answer this, considering I'm in an establishment of education. So, look, for me, why did I choose those subjects? I wanted, from a very, very young age, to take a very sort of broad view of things in my career. And I think that has gone right the way through, from when I was a teenager all the way through to now, to sort of explore many different avenues in my education and in my career, and assimilate as much sort of, I suppose, knowledge and experience as I could in perhaps, the first, let's break it down to the first decade of my career. So I spent sort of most of my time in my 20s exploring many different avenues. So from the point of view of, okay, I may have done politics, philosophy and economics, but then I went on to work in many different industries from that. So I worked in the UK when I first started my career in data analytics. So I started as a data analyst. I then moved from being a data analyst into loyalty-based marketing, and some of the premier sort of loyalty-based schemes that were very prominent in the UK. And then my career turned more towards the creative side of things. So I worked in creative advertising, and I worked in one of the leading US advertising agencies, Leo Burnett. Chicago-based advertising agency with a rich heritage in some of the big American brands. I worked with a number of large American brands for a long time, and then I worked during that career. I worked with many different sectors, many different industries, and I don't think there was probably an industry that I didn't touch in some way, shape or form in my career working in media and advertising and marketing. And then through those years, I then ended up working with the gaming industry in sort of the early days of console gaming. So with PlayStation and Xbox, I first actually worked with Microsoft for the launch of Windows Phone, which didn't last very long at all. And then I got to know the Microsoft guys that way. I worked on Xbox, Sony, I worked on PlayStation. And then it wasn't until sort of 2008, 2009, then I really started working with the gaming industry. So going back to your question, what did politics, philosophy and economics bring? I think particularly for me, it's just a reflection of how I've approached many things over the years. I like the diversity in things. I wouldn't say that I'm someone that has wanted to specialize down a particular field. And even though you may look at me from the outside and say, okay, this guy has worked on gaming, when it comes to something like publishing a game, you draw on so many different disciplines. There's pretty much no discipline that we don't touch in the field of publishing, bar probably medicine and flying to space. That would be about the two that you would leave out.
Yes, sir. So how has all of your experience in these industries helped you excel as a manager?
Excel as a manager, that would be quite a claim. I think if we look at it from the point of view of managing people, and people are really at the heart of everything that we do, and talent and how we bring talent through, then that's sort of been one of my obsessions for a great deal of time. And I think I learned to appreciate this more and more and more as I went through my career, is really about identifying the right talent that you want to work with in a certain industry. A lot of people talk about the difference between having generalists and having specialists. Where do you need someone who's a generalist who can appreciate a broad strategy or have a broad plan or a broad vision or a single-minded vision, and where do you need people that can really do very specific tasks with very specialist capabilities? So are you are you an incredible artist and a designer, which we require in our team, or are you a legal expert that we require for our team? Or do you just have a great vision for what this game could become in the future, or how this community could grow, or how we could take something global? So how you go about managing within the context of publishing a video game is, first of all, you need to identify all the core skill sets that you need. And the most important thing is, do these people think in the same way in terms of their goals, their passions, their aspirations, what drives them? Because the most important thing when you put a team together, and you hear this in all areas, if you like football or you like basketball, the most important thing is you need, or in esports team, for example, you need synergy, okay? Everybody needs to be able to work at the same pace with synergy. If you don't have that, you don't create a strong work ethic, you don't create a strong team, and you find yourself people managing problems more than actually just supporting people to advance in their careers. So I think the key is, in terms of moving from being a day-to-day manager to leadership role, is you need to put the right pieces of the puzzle together, to make the whole, is the best way to describe it. And it all starts with finding the right talent. And I say to people all the time, it's not just about passion. You'll hear a lot of people online, a lot of people around talk about passion a great deal. It's a bonus for me if you're passionate about what you do. But first of all, you should focus on things that you're really, really good at. Find something that you're really, really good at, focus in on that. And then once you get better at that, that will actually become your passion. And that will help you in your passion if you're lucky enough to combine some of those things together. So yeah, it's, from a management point of view, it's about identifying, good people that can work together and can achieve a goal together and build that right culture.
So, sir, what inspired you to pursue this career behind all of the industries you've worked in?
So I do have I'm going to contradict myself now. So I do have a passion for video gaming, but I suppose I am guilty of following my passion to start with, and I went headfirst into it. But I also saw a huge opportunity from the business that I was in, because I'd helped publishers, global publishers and global developers publish their games. So the likes of EA FIFA franchise. So I published, FIFA supported publishing FIFA in the MENA region for maybe 5, 6, 7 years. Call of Duty, and then the list could go on and on. There's many titles that I've helped publish in the region. And when you publish a game, you're drawing on all sorts of different skill sets, as I said. So you need to have capability in marketing, you need to have capability in operations, you need to be able to understand how to do events, to do public relations, you need to understand how to prepare a budget, you need to be able to do business development, you need to do partnerships. There's many different areas. So through the years of both working in the different roles that I had done, and then also working with different team members, different outside vendors, different suppliers, different skill sets, as I said, and lots of very talented people. All of these things combined allow you to thrive in the gaming industry, because you need all of these capabilities to publish what we call a AAA title, which is the big titles that like the Fortnites and PUBGs and League of Legends and FIFAs of this world. They draw on many different disciplines. So there is capacity for so many different people from so many different backgrounds to work in a games publisher, more so today than ever. It's not just the technical side or the creative vision. It's not just the marketing and PR side. It's so many different things that come together in this big machine, and that's why synergy is important. And sometimes being very efficient, sometimes taking your time to make the right decision are very important. So I have a real passion now for publishing video games, because I believe I'm strong in some of the areas that are needed. In others, I'm not. I'm pretty weak, to be honest. But I don't tell many people. I just allow other people to guide me in those areas. So you get to understand where you're strong, where you're weak. You have to try and work towards your strengths all the time. I don't like to focus too much on weaknesses. There's always somebody else to do that better. Why struggle in those areas when you can bring somebody else who will be 10 times better?
So, sir, talking about the gaming industry, it is a very competitive market with lots of demand, and Tencent is a leader in this industry. So, how does Tencent create games that can compete with more popular titles and genres?
So Tencent, the expectation now on the business, on us, and the expectation I would hope from the consumer is, with the broad range of games that we make in all different genres, that we are going to come with the next big thing, the next AAA title, the next global title. Guys over here are thinking, is he going to tell us what it is? No, I'm not going to reveal anything here. But the thing where it all starts with the consumer and the gamers themselves. So we have to do a lot of interaction with our gamers, spend a lot of time talking to them, a lot of research with them, with those different audiences. As you know, as gamers, there are gamers from a very young age, all the way through teenage years, up to 20s, 30s. People are playing, still like me, old men in their 40s and beyond, playing video games. So there's a lot of different people to cater to, and we have to understand what is it that our gamers demand. That's what it takes. So there's no point making a game if there's no audience for it, or we don't think there's an audience for it. So it's all about really understanding those gamers and what they want. Do they want more FPS? Do they want more mobile titles? Do they want sports simulators? Do they want open world? Do we combine genres together? Is Battle Royale going to be the next big thing for the next 10 years, or is Battle Royale going to evolve? But it's all down to what the users demand, what the users say. So constantly listening to the users. Some of our games are what we call 365-day-a-year live service games. So they're always on. You can log into those games anytime. And so there's an opportunity 365 days a year to have a dialogue with your users and talk to them, understand them, listen to them, and allow them to feel that they're part of that development experience. So it's very, very important for our developers. That point is that we constantly listen to our users.
Yes, sir. So how does the company find out what the gamers want, or basically what the market is like for the developers and people to join the company?
Yeah, so we have research teams that go, they're not just doing questionnaires and things. They're going country by country, speaking to different communities. So research is one thing. The other thing is how people use media and how people use platforms. So are people using YouTube? Are they viewing say live streams and video content on YouTube, or are they on Discord, or are they on Twitch? And for different markets, it's very, very different. So there are many different ways to gain a perspective or a view on how a game should be developed. And again, it comes back to listening to those. And it's not just the users. There's then a whole other ecosystem of people that has been created, which is all the people that benefit from the gaming industry. So you have content creators, live streamers as two great examples. Some people have made like the big names, like whether it's Dr. Disrespect or Ninja or all of these sorts of people. All of these guys have made careers not just by playing the game, but by creating content as well. So there's many, many different perspectives you can get in terms of how we develop a game, because it's not just developed for the gamer anymore. It's also developed for all the other people that can benefit from the game as well. And streaming is probably the best example in the last 5 years, and I'm sure a lot of you guys in the audience, you follow streamers, you follow content creators every single day on platforms. And the gaming industry had created this ecosystem of streamers and content creators, or what we call influencers now, long time before other industries had, because naturally a video game is in a video format. So that came about already maybe 12, 13 years ago, before other industries started that only like 4 or 5 years ago.
So how does working in the MENA region affect this game creation?
The MENA region is a huge opportunity market for every aspect of the video games industry. So there's still huge growth potential here compared to other markets. So there's still a lot of consumers that are still getting into gaming. It's a region that is quite unique in that this region plays console games, it plays PC games, and it plays mobile games in large quantities. That's not the case in every market around the world. So it's a very fertile, rich region for developers to come into if they want to come into the region and develop games, or you just want to publish a game and promote a game that's already been made. So both is a huge opportunity.
So, sir, what advice would you give to small game studios starting out in the industry?
So if you're starting any small business, or whether it's in gaming or not, it's really about finding what is your unique selling proposition, what makes your game unique, or not. You have a choice. Are we going to make something completely new, completely fresh, that no one's ever seen before? And are we going to put a small team together that is able to build that technically? Or are we going to do what is already there better? So that's the choice that you have as a developer. And it's not to say that you're a copycat company and you're going to copy somebody, but even the biggest games in the world that are out there right now have evolved from another game. So an inspiration has been drawn from another game. If you look at original Warcraft game, is responsible for many, not just World of Warcraft, but games like Dota and other games like this, and League of Legends in some way came back from the original Warcraft game. And there's many other examples of that. Many FPS games have been based off other FPS games, and it's evolved and evolved. So I think while it is I suppose the greatest opportunity is to create something completely unique that no one's ever seen before, that would wow everybody. There's already been so much done. There's equally opportunity to combine genres together, or just go one better than there was before. So I think that's the great thing about the development opportunity. Technology is getting better, connectivity is getting better, the gaming communities are getting bigger. So there's so much opportunity out there for developers to make fresh games, or just to evolve something that's already there already.
So sir, many students are taking computer science and 3D modeling courses in universities and looking to pursue game development careers. So I've been looking into this industry myself, and I wonder what what is Tencent's hiring process, and what qualifications do they consider when hiring a new developer?
So I would say that there is the capacity for you to join the gaming industry from whatever career path you think is right for you. So you choose what you believe you're strong at. You become as capable as you can and as competent as you can in that area. And especially if you're going into the area of development and down a digital career, if you like, and a development career and a technology career, then there is a vast amount of opportunity within the gaming industry. From whether, as you mentioned, some of the things, whether you're doing coding, or whether you're doing 3D modeling, if you're more towards the creative side or more towards the engineering side, the technical side, the data side. There are many careers from that perspective. And then even if you're coming from the point of view of you have a career in marketing or media or finance or legal, HR, it goes on and on. So all of those routes through your education, whether that's as a whether it's from the point of view of what you choose to do at university or further education, then I think pretty much any path you take could lead you to your goal of working in the gaming industry, which is the good news.
So Tencent has created many games such as PUBG and League of Legends. So how has your joining as MENA head in 2020 affected plans for the region?
Me joining probably didn't affect anything.
So what new plans have you created, sir?
So I say that. So when was the purpose of opening an office here in MENA? So the purpose with our business is, you're looking to add value to the whole. So what I tell all my guys is you need to find how you're going to add value. What is your purpose? I say that to everybody whenever they present something small or something big. What is the purpose of this? Why are we doing it? Is this something that the HQ could do? Is this something that a team in another market could do for us? What is it that we're doing here that really supports? And we call it publishing localization. So publishing localization doesn't mean that we're just taking things from English to Arabic, for example. We're not just making the game Arabic. That is one of the parts, but it means everything. We might want to put technology here, servers here, to run the games so that the games can run faster with a lower ping, so that all the gamers don't start crying and complaining that there's too much lag. And yes, we still have some problems on our games. It might be security services to stop hackers, for example. Then it might be we want local artists that can bring a flavor of the local culture to the game. It could be PR teams that understand and media experts that understand the media landscape. So, for example, which social media platforms do people use and do they enjoy? And what's the type of content that they want to view? Which content creators should we work with? So the purpose of the office here in publishing localization is everything. Everything that you would see at a global level that a publisher would do and a game would do, we try to do that at a local level.
What is your opinion on games having the ability to influence people?
Yeah, I think in terms of the positive influence that they can bring with the types of collaborations that we do is great. So we see the influence of games cutting across different genres. So you might have seen a music concert inside a game, or a release of a new song in examples like was done in Fortnite. Or you might be able to have a skin from a movie character. So you might be able to have a Batman skin in a Arena of Valor game, or you might be able to get something from your favorite TV show, or you might be able to drive a Tesla or a McLaren in PUBG Mobile. So this is where gaming starts to influence pop culture. Okay, so you have all these different interests that people have, and there is an influence that gaming can have on those different sectors, and on how people view those different brands and view those different genres and consume them as well. So you no longer have to just watch a movie at the theatre or just go to a live show to watch your favorite band or your favorite musician. A lot of these different forms of entertainment are starting to cross over and merge, and that's where the influence of video games in particular goes beyond just playing the game.
So, could you tell us how game developers can use this for their advantage or for the greater good?
Yeah, so a good example is probably what was done in Saudi Arabia just during COVID. They did a global competition for charity where everybody that participated would raise money, all the prize money and all the money raised would go towards the battle against COVID-19. So what that is an example of is bringing the huge community together. So you think about video games now, the scale of them, and these video games that are online. If you're looking at games where there is tens of millions of players all around the world playing, all connected together. So if you want to influence them as a developer towards a good cause, then it's very easy to do that. You know, you can bring that community together to support all sorts of initiatives that are very positive. Whether that's from, you know, like we said at the start, a career point of view, you want to help people develop their career, you want to help people develop you know, themselves, or on the other side, you want to do something big for a global charity. You can do that on a charity live stream or something like this.
We will be concluding this interview here, sir.
Okay.
Thank you for coming here for us to interview us, and I hope your industry does well and everything goes fine.